Brace yourselves, Outlander fan. The jaw-dropping Season 8 trailer has finally arrived, and it's nothing short of a thunderclap across the Highlands. STARZ has unleashed a cinematic preview that doesn't just tease, it devastates. Packed with heart-wrenching revelations, long-awaited reunions, and seismic twists that will shake the very foundation of the Frasier legacy. This trailer makes one thing clear: everything we thought we knew is about to be turned on its head. From the haunting return of characters presumed lost to time to the ominous shadows of betrayal and heartbreak looming large, the final season of Outlander promises an emotional roller coaster like no other. The Frasier's world is unraveling at a terrifying pace, and no one, not even Jamie and Claire, is safe from the storm that's coming. Will their legendary love truly defy the relentless march of time? Or has fate finally found a crack in their bond? With war on the horizon, secrets clawing their way to the surface, and history demanding its due, the couple faces their most daunting challenge yet. As ghostly echoes of the past collide with the uncertainty of the future, choices made now could echo through generations. Dive into the spoilers no one saw coming, but be warned. You'll wish you had a corset to hold your breath. There are moments so intense you'll forget to exhale. The wait is over, and it's been worth every second. With the explosive release of the Season 8 trailer, Outlander doesn't just return, it erupts onto the screen. STARZ has thrown wide the gates to what may well be 2025's most anticipated television event, offering a glimpse into a season brimming with peril, passion, and powerful moments that will leave fans on the edge of their seat. As the Frasier saga barrels toward its epic conclusion, viewers can expect a final chapter that tests the deepest loyalties, unravels long-held truths, and forces Jamie and Claire to confront sacrifices more painful and more permanent than they ever imagined. The stakes have never been higher. The drama has never been more intense. And the end? It's closer than ever. From long-buried ghosts resurfacing to devastating betrayals threatening to fracture the ridge, the trailer teases a heart-pounding collision of love and legacy. But be warned. This isn't just a glimpse, it's a spoiler minefield. Dive in as we unpack the twists, shocks, and emotional grenades hidden in every frame, and ask the question on every fan's lips: can love truly conquer all when time itself is the enemy? Outlander Season 8 confronts the ultimate reckoning, the cost of a love that defied time, and the irreversible scars it leaves on history. As Jamie and Claire Frasier's journey barrels toward its crescendo, the final season grapples with the collision of intimate choices and the unstoppable tide of fate. Ghosts of the past resurface, demanding payment. Loyalties fracture under the weight of legacy. And the couple's decades of sacrifices ripple into a future they may never see. At its core, Season 8 asks, can love's flame outlive the storm of time? Or does devotion itself become the wound that unravels everything? The trailer reveals a world where survival hinges not on battles fought, but on the truth left unspoken and the haunting price of rewriting destiny. It opens with Jamie and Claire Frasier standing on a storm-lashed cliff, their faces weathered by decades of love and struggle. A voiceover from an older Roger pierces the scene. You cannot outrun time, but God help them. They tried. What follows is a visceral, spoiler-laden plunge into the Frasier's final chapter, where the threads of past, present, and future unravel in a desperate bid to alter destiny. Peace on Frasier's Ridge proves short-lived, as the aftermath of the revolution gives way to new chaos. Dr. Joe Abernathy, aged and urgent, reappears with a dire warning. Claire's use of modern medicine and meddling in historical events has fractured the timeline, destabilizing reality itself. Jamie, meanwhile, is haunted by visions of Mandanda, the woman he freed from enslavement, who now condemns him in spectral form for perpetuating cycles of oppression. Fractures the family even further when Brianna and Roger return to the past with their son, Jemmy, after uncovering a letter foretelling Jamie and Claire's deaths in 1779. Their arrival triggers disaster. Jemmy is kidnapped by Colonel Edgar Marlowe, a fanatical redcoat tied to Gus Duncan's cult, who believes the boy's time travel lineage holds the secret to immortality. As Jamie rallies a militia to storm Marlowe's stronghold, Claire faces a shocking revelation. She is pregnant at 60. A medical impossibility that signals time itself is disintegrating. Dr. Abernathy warns that the child's birth could erase entire histories, forcing Claire and Jamie into a race against collapse. The trailer teases a brutal showdown between Jamie and Marlowe, who wields pages from Claire's lost journals to manipulate events intercut with Claire's agonizing labor aboard a ship bound for Scotland. The battle becomes a last-ditch effort to reset time at the Standing Stones at Crenay-Dun. The crisis peaks as Claire collapses, her body failing under the strain of paradox. Jamie arrives bloodied from battle, and Roger delivers a grim ultimatum. One of them must pass through the stones to save the child. In a heart-wrenching exchange, Jamie and Claire debate who will stay and who will go, their dialogue interwoven with flashes of their life together. The final image shows Claire's hand gripping the stone as Jamie begs, "Live, Sassenach, for both of us," before light consumes the screen. The trailer closes with a post-credit stinger. In 2030, an elderly Roger and Brianna stand at Claire's grave in Boston, dated 1781. As they depart, the camera lingers on a silver-haired figure in the trees, Jamie Fraser, alive in the modern era. His survival is a silent enigma. Season 8 frames time as the ultimate adversary, weaving the Frasers' intimate struggles into the fabric of historical consequence. Echoes of earlier seasons, Claire's pregnancy, the stones, the cost of defiance anchor the narrative in the series' roots, while delivering devastating twists designed to ignite fervent debate. Ambiguity lingers in the finale, balancing hope and tragedy, leaving fans to wonder, even in a fractured timeline, can love's echo endure? Season 8 thrusts Jamie and Claire Fraser into a harrowing reckoning with the consequences of decades spent defying time. Claire's use of modern medicine to save lives and Jamie's interventions in historical conflicts have destabilized reality, creating catastrophic ripples that threaten to erase entire threads of history. This unraveling manifests in visceral ways. Claire, at 60, discovers she's inexplicably pregnant, a biological impossibility that becomes both a symbol of hope and a ticking time bomb. Dr. Joe Abernathy reappears to declare the couple a rupture in time. The child's existence threatens to collapse the timeline. Meanwhile, Jamie is haunted by spectral visions of Mandanda, who condemns him for perpetuating cycles of oppression despite his intentions. These visions force Jamie to confront the moral cost of his actions, how even attempts to liberate can leave unintended chains. The Fraser family fractures under escalating threats. Brianna and Roger's return to the 18th century, driven by a future letter foretelling Jamie and Claire's deaths, inadvertently ignites chaos when Jamie is kidnapped by Colonel Marlowe. Marlowe, wielding pages stolen from Claire's journals, believes Jamie's lineage holds the key to immortality, setting off a brutal clash between Jamie's militia and Marlowe's forces. Parallel to this, young Ian faces a devastating choice between his Mohawk kin and the Frasers, a decision that culminates in betrayal, underscoring how loyalty and legacy are tested to their breaking points. The season's climax pivots on sacrifice. As Claire's body fails under the strain of temporal paradox during labor aboard a ship bound for Scotland, Jamie battles Marlowe in a visceral showdown intercut with her agony. The conflict converges at Crenay-Dun, where the Standing Stones pulse with unstable energy ripples through the timeline as Roger delivers a brutal ultimatum. One of the Frasers must pass through the stones to save their unborn child, or all may be lost. Both mother and baby face death, a heart-wrenching echo of the first time Claire and Jamie were torn apart. Jamie and Claire debate who will stay and who will go, their dialogue layered with flashbacks of a lifetime marked by love and loss. Jamie's plea, "Live, Sassenach, for both of us," culminates in Claire gripping the stone as light engulfs her, leaving her fate ambiguous. The post-credit stinger deepens the tragedy. In 2030, an elderly Brianna and Roger mourn at Claire's grave in Boston, dated 1781, suggesting she remained in the past. Yet, as they depart, a figure emerges from the trees. A silver-haired Jamie, alive in the modern era. This haunting coda leaves the central question unanswered. Did he survive by time's mercy or through a rewritten reality? It embodies the series' enduring tension. Can love's defiance truly outlast time's cruelty, or does sacrifice merely reshape fate rather than conquer it? Season 8 frames defiance not as triumph, but as a double-edged sword. Every attempt to bend history exacts a toll. Sacrifice becomes the only currency strong enough to buy hope in a collapsing world. The story of Outlander Season 8 closes not with resolution, but with a haunting echo of love-defying time's indifferent march. At Cray Na Dun, Claire's hand clings to the stone as Jamie's voice, Liv, Sassenach, dissolves into the roar of the time stream. Light engulfs her, and when it fades, she is gone. Jamie collapses to his knees, the wind carrying the faint cry of a newborn, a sound that should not exist in this shattered reality. In the aftermath, Fraser's Ridge lies in uneasy quiet. Jemmy is rescued from Marlowe's clutches, but the cost is written in young Ian's hollow stare. His choice to betray his Mohawk kin leaves him estranged from both worlds. Brianna and Roger, clutching their son, discover Claire's journal buried in the rubble of Marlowe's fortress. Its final entry, dated the day she vanished, reads, "Duh, if you read this, I'm gone. But tell Jamie I've loved him in every time." The family burns the journal, a futile attempt to seal the fractures in history. Years pass like pages torn from an ancient book weathered, inevitable. Then, in the spring of 1781, Claire Beauchamp Randall Fraser, time traveler, healer, warrior, wife, died peacefully in Jamie's arms at Lallybroch. Her body, though tended with the knowledge of 2 centuries, could no longer endure the paradoxes of time she had carried so long. She slipped away in the soft Highland dusk, her final breath a whisper against Jamie's cheek. He buried her beneath the great sycamore on the hillside overlooking the fields they once dreamed of. He carved the stone with his own hands. The Gaelic inscription read, BNNDL. She walked in 2 worlds. Over time, her grave became more than a resting place. It became legend. Travelers, historians, romantics alike made pilgrimages to that hill, murmuring tales of the woman who defied time and death itself. Some swore the winds carried her voice. Others left offerings, wildflowers, vials of herbs, faded photographs, and pages torn from medical textbooks. Jamie, now silver-haired and slow in step, spent his final years beside her stone. He told her stories of battles fought, mornings spent in laughter, their children's triumphs, and the silence after storm. On one autumn morning, with mist curling low over the heather, he took his last breath beside her, a smile still ghosting his lips. But time, ever a trickster, had not finished with them. In 2030, centuries and lifetimes away, Roger Mackenzie and Brianna Fraser stood quietly in a small cemetery in Boston. The grave was simple but well-tended. A bronze plaque marked, Claire Elizabeth Beauchamp Randall Fraser. They laid white heather and blood-red roses. As they turned to go, a figure caught their eye. At the edge of the trees stood an old man, tall, broad-shouldered despite his age, with silver hair catching the sunlight and eyes impossibly blue. He stepped forward with reverent hesitation, as if each footfall risked unraveling the world itself. In his hand, he held Claire's worn medical bracelet engraved with her name, her blood type, the ghost of a life she once lived in another century. Jamie Fraser had come through time once more. He walked alone through Boston's modern din, untouched by the world he now found himself in. Eventually, he found his way to a quiet rise just outside Innes, where, preserved behind glass in a National Heritage Museum, stood the silent stones of Cray Na Dun. Reverently, Jamie approached them. With a trembling hand, he pressed his palm to the central stone. His eyes closed for a heartbeat. The air around him trembled. A low hum began, barely perceptible, like a memory echoing across centuries. Then silence. The screen fades in on Cray Na Dun, cloaked in fog and mystery. The stones ancient and jagged shimmer with fractured energy. The wind moans like a ghost calling home. Claire, portrayed by Catriona Balfe, is pale, her strength waning but her spirit unbroken. One hand clutches the cold stone, the other rests protectively on her swollen belly. Beside her, Jamie Sam Hewen is on his knees, blood streaking his face, his arms trembling as he holds her up. "I can't lose you," he rasps. "You've always been the strongest of us." Her eyes glisten with tears and centuries of love. "Not without you," she breathes. The wind surges. The stones erupt in light. Claire screams raw, guttural as the energy around them twists reality. Her hand tightens on Jamie's. A pulse fast, strong beats in perfect rhythm with the unborn child's heart. Time fractures. And then silence. Jamie collapses onto the moss. Claire's emerald wedding ring is clutched in his fist. The light is gone. The stones stand dormant once more. In the hush that follows, a newborn's cry pierces the still air. Jamie stumbles toward the sound and finds Roger, played by Richard Rankin, kneeling beside a tiny, wailing infant wrapped in Claire's shawl. The baby's hair is a tangle of fiery curls. Her eyes, even in their newborn haze, gleam impossibly blue. "She's yours," Roger says hoarsely. Claire's gone, but this is her last gift. The years roll on. Seasons pass in a blur of green springs and golden autumns. At Fraser's Ridge, Jamie raises the girl Faith Margaret Fraser with reverence and love. He teaches her of herbs, of honor, of stars that guide and stories that matter. Around campfires and at her bedside, he tells her of her mother, a healer, a warrior, a woman born out of time. Faith grows strong, clever, and wild-hearted. The ridge thrives, and the echoes of the past whisper forward. If your heart's still racing, you're not alone. The Fraser saga has spanned generations, centuries, and lifetimes. Though this chapter may close, time is never linear and stories never truly end. Subscribe now to join a global clan of Outlander fans who live for every twist, theorize every paradox, and catch every hidden nod to Diana Gabaldon's layered world. Want more? Hit the bell icon so you never miss a single frame from Season 8's biggest questions to secret callbacks buried in the stones. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Claire or Team Jamie? What would you sacrifice to change time? Let's keep the legacy alive. Until next time, Dinafash. Stay wild, stay curious, and keep those kilts flapping in the wind.